And welcome back, my fellow Aeternians. As always, it's me, Emperor AP. Today, I am here with Christina of Cycoldia. I need to see if I can unplug this so everybody can hear. Oh, good.
Hi.
Hey, perfect. Okay, so
Perfect.
we're doing it. We have everything set up. I should have done this from the beginning, like 2 hours ago, but it's all good. We
No,
have
it's fun. We got a good recording for an interview, which you guys will see in time.
in time. We are interwebbing
Time.
right
Oh,
now.
shoot. I have the funny joke. I have the funny joke.
Ooh,
I have the joke. I have the joke. I
I'm
have the
ready.
joke. Because we always, everything's falling apart. We always have an ace up our sleeve. Still worked.
Hey, I love it.
I have
Also,
just unplugged my computer.
it happens when you're in a worthy joke. First off, we
When
have,
it's a funny joke.
of course, we have 3 viewers. Thank you everybody for showing. Federal Republics of Ohio says, hey, it's good to see you. Yeah, please comment down below. Let us know what you're up to. Again, this was supposed to be for anybody who wasn't familiar with everything that's been happening on Twitter, on Instagram, on all the stuff that we've been doing. This was originally supposed to be a discussion between Christina and I about the breakdown of Cycoldia and Dracul relations. This is something that's been ongoing for the past week or so, pretty much over, Cycoldian and Dracul official channels that I have now been learning more about and that we're discussing. Again, you will see a full interview, as Christina just said, that we recorded previously, and this is kind of the aftermath of that because we couldn't get the original live stream working. Right now, Tiffany's being kind enough to be our camera woman and is helping us out with that. Caden Republic says, what's going on? We're discussing the ending of Dracul Cycoldia relations. Dracul severed relations with Cycoldia over some drama. We can talk about that. You'll see more of it again in the edited version of the interview. For now, for everybody who's watching for the moment, is there anything you would like to say or anything that, like a brief description of the events that have taken place?
Um, Kind of just that, in at least my opinion, as the head of Psycholia, Dracul severed relations with Psycholia unjustly, and that the opinions given by the Draculian government of the reasons of why was not proper, and that I would also implore the Draculian government to have any specific statements that I have made that would result in diplomatic action, or that could go to a representative of my entire government, that any of that could really be brought to the country rather than just me. Because any issue, as they say, that they have with me or my government, as they use for their own policy, should be brought up in private. And so if they had an issue with what I have had, then they should have told me at first, or even told my foreign minister before cutting all relations, which I think would have been heavily beneficial.
I completely agree. It's a very interesting situation. It's something that I have been following on social media again for the last few days, about the last week. And this has been the first time that Christina and I were able to get together about it. But we have discussed a lot. This next video that you all will see, specifically regarding Christina and Cycoldia's side of things, discussing how things happened from her point of view, is all fleshed out in the next video that you will see. So that will be coming up. Again, Christina and I will have some more discussions about that, but we will be uh, back for essentially the official interview and statement from Cycoldia in that, in our interview, and then we will be hopefully having President Stephen Luke of Dracul on as well to discuss sort of their side of things, how they feel. This has been if you don't follow our Twitter and our Instagram, I'm plugging right now, but you really should, because we had the whole thing going on. You should also follow Cycoldia. You should also follow Dracul. It just, to keep up on all this, there was a lot of stuff happening. But I felt like I was not able to do justice the um, the things that were being said tonight over Twitter, over Instagram, stuff like that. And I wanted to at least have something that I could put out because we hyped up the interview so much. I wanted to,
We
of
did.
course, yeah, I wanted to, of course, have Christina on and allow her to say something tonight to you all. Um, that being the case, I guess the biggest thing for this stream, being kind of a departure from the big drama that's going on and everything that we're going to be talking about, I would say, uh, I guess look forward to more Cycoldia Aeternia stuff. I need Christina's help with fashion stuff. She's been showing me a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff with her wardrobe. She changed outfit mid interview. I was so impressed. She had the full. It was
I
really
had
cool.
this prepped.
She did. She absolutely did.
Also, though, if you look here, this is actually a custom Cycoldia pen.
Ooh. Did you have like the maker, the like, the.
They made it for free out of love for the country.
Ooh. Very cool. Nice. Just a dedicated citizen, or like.
Yeah. I don't even know if they were a citizen. They were just a chat.
Very cool. A solid person. Very nice. But yeah, absolutely. Um, Casey says pop off 90-second outfit change. Good to see everybody. We have 9 viewers right now. Is
I
there?
could probably do it again. I could do it again.
Ooh, ooh. Do you have it in you? Is the real question. By the way, you guys can't see it super well, but Christina has a really cool teapot. I just like it. It looks like she has a Louis Vuitton teapot. I said Gucci earlier, but Louis Vuitton is more fitting. Also, everybody, please thank Tiffany in the chat because she's actively killing her arms trying to hold up this phone. I'll probably take it off her hands in a second because I see it being a problem. You made to help out there.
I'm holding so steady.
You're killing it. You're killing it. I just feel bad. Can you angle it a little bit?
Up or down?
Down. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah.
If you're wondering, I do have it in me. Yeah.
Here it is. The fancy. Ooh. The second.
Also, I'm just gonna say, because I know who that is in the chat, Max. I've seen you on that account before. You're not tricking me.
Max, she called you out. She knows.
I know.
Oh, I love it. But yeah, so we have the whole gang. We have Christina in her official Cycoldian Empress outfit. We have her as well in the previous very nice business attire. I appreciate it. Um, the Again, I don't want to go into too much that's already described in the interview and that, we've kind of already covered is Christina and I, even though it seems like it's just been a few minutes for you guys, we have been talking tonight for probably like 4 hours, just continuous from phone calls to live stream and so on and so on. So big things in my mind, and I just want to see if Christina feels the same from the interview that we discussed. So you guys get it on the live stream. Um, Big incident happened that made Christina feel uncomfortable as a trans person in Dracul, representing herself as a Dracul citizen, sort of voicing those concerns. Um, Not feeling that being adequately responded to, or not feeling there have been a response to that by the Dracul government, she then made a public statement as the leader of Cycoldia on the specific people who had affected that and made her feel uncomfortable. And then that escalating tensions with Dracul responding by directly and immediately severing all ties and escalating that. Back and forth a few Twitter and Instagram posts later, and here we are. Does that sound accurate?
Semi-accurate, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, and so again, a lot to get through. If you guys want like a docu-series type thing to watch at some point, it seems like this is gonna be it. Christina's already got the tea. We spilled it a little bit, but we're still here.
How dare you! I was about to spill a tiny bit of tea.
I love it. I love it. You gotta have props for the bit.
You take a bit.
But you had the ace.
I was so scared of that falling again.
Saved your life.
I accidentally hit it on accident. I was like,
Oh goodness.
because, behind the scenes content. Whenever I was setting up, this painting fell down
Ooh.
directly on my charger,
Yep.
and I had to catch it.
Impressive.
So, new fear unlocked.
Set failure. Goodness. But yeah, so I appreciate having Christina here. Again, the Monarch of Cycoldia. If you guys want to know some of her more famous things in the micronational community, of course, being one of the bigwigs at MicroWiki, and as well being a big contributor to the most previous MicroCon as well, and having some interviews in that. So, Christina, it seemed like she was dying or coughing or something. I don't know what happened.
I read one of the comments.
Oh no, I motivated
Ohio.
Ohio.
That was good.
Fancy. Was it the fancy?
It
No.
was a Netflix story.
Breakdown in relations. A story on two different nations' policies. Of course, I respect it. We need to have it on Netflix. It needs to become a Netflix catfish docuseries.
It's Netflix, but it's like one of those documentaries about like a serial killer kind of style.
Yeah.
It's like this summer on ATN. This summer on ATN News. If anybody gets that, reference, cheers.
I didn't get the reference. I can't cheers myself. Shame. But, ooh.
Also, I will specify that I do not mean the Portillo guy. I mean the Max that is Saber Moose.
Oh, okay.
There's two Maxes in the chat. This is confusing.
How many
I
Max?
specifically do not mean Portillo. I'm doing this because Max bragged to me just now in Discord DMs about how the other guy is getting points back. But I am ousting you now. Yes, you have been ousted.
I appreciate it. I could respect it. Max says, we are not choosing sides. We are neutral. We're sorry there was a conflict. Yeah, it's something, again, you'll have to watch during the...
You have to watch the video.
You have to watch the video. It explains a lot. Again, we're going to have Stephen Luke of Dracul on, so you'll also be able to see it during some of that content. But in my opinion, again, we need to hear both sides. We gotta do the whole thing for me to
You can say at this time.
right. That's more accurate. At this time, also 13 viewers. Thank you guys so much. If you could like it up, it helps a lot for the stream, getting more people in here. At this time, my opinion on the situation is that it seems people remarked on our social media that they were upset that I said Dracul messed up. That's how I advertised this stream, and I still feel like I stand by that in this situation, specifically because it seems like, from what Christina's told me, from the things that I've seen as official documentation, Dracul took things from what was described by them as a personal matter to then being escalated into a governmental matter and an official one, and that was quite swift. Again, I think from their point of view, there's justification for that, and that the posting of, an initial inciting incident by an official statement from Christina's office I think they feel is justification for that. But again, it's 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 weird because it's Christina as someone who was a citizen of Dracul speaking about her experience as a Dracul citizen, then becoming a a matter that severed relations between states and ultimately severed relations between friends who were very close to each other, even geographically.
Hi, Bruce.
Ooh, is Bruce in
Oh,
the
hi,
chat?
Bruce.
Bruce is in the chat. Bruce says she was the one who escalated it. Now the drama's popping off. Okay.
Oh, hi, Bruce. You are a lot in the video.
Yes, we did talk about Bruce Cooper specifically in the video. That was the whole thing.
You're in like half the thing.
Yep. And that was a big part of it as well. Was talking. You gotta watch the video, but talking about like specifically having problems with an individual. This individual being the person in the chat right now, Bruce Cooper.
The guy who's here. Hi, Bruce. Oh, Bruce. I will remind you, whenever you told me to not come back to Dracul, I was kicked, not banned. I can come back.
It's a full steam ahead drama. It's a
Are
whole
you
thing.
trying to filter down to make it?
So that
Or-
you can just see the screen better.
I can just join back. Just
Yeah, I appreciate it, Tiffany. Thank you.
one of
And then
No, no.
yeah, I appreciate you. You're killing it. I feel bad too, Tiffany. If you can see her, she's like in a whole stance. I'm lucky to have Tiffany. You all should just know that. The excuse me. Let me
No.
no, because it's
I'm
the way you're
steady
keeping
now.
balance. Okay, I'm dying. Saber Moose said at Bruce, she released a statement from her private office, not from her government. You guys escalated by damaging relations. And again, it is a whole bunch of drama. It's a whole my
Also-
leg straight up
also-
gonna die.
Thank you, Max, for coming out in the support there. That's
Hey.
Max.
Is Max a part of the government? Max, by the way, she's referring to Saber Moose in the chat. If everybody wants to like keep
He is
up with
not
this.
a member of my government.
Ooh, okay, nice. So just solid supporter.
Just a good fellow.
Fair enough. Yeah, and so again, I want to stress 100%. As of this time, as of my understanding of the situation right now, there is bias. Like I'm imparting bias into my own statements, into my own feelings about this situation. But I think it's a fairly reasonable bias to have, given the evidence that I've been presented. Again, we'll have to deep dive. In the video is straight up gonna be a docuseries. I don't think I could cut it down to less than like 20 minutes. There's a lot of really solid like informational content there.
I was surprised you said 20 minutes and an hour there.
Yeah, it was like an over 2 hour interview that was
You were
pretty
gonna have
much.
this be. I thought it was like 3 hours.
It was a significant amount. It may have been bordering on 3.
Next up on Netflix, we got a 20-part series.
Heartstring pulling.
20-part
Of
series
course.
with 3 bonus clips.
Hashtag for AP gets sad.
I was a little bit emotional, dude. It was a whole thing. The situation sucks, and I think that's the thing that gets me most about it. Seems like it comes down to it's this situation that's very, very micronational. If you like micronations, I think this situation hits close to home with you, specifically because it's people who run their own nations, it's people who are, making these political statements, doing whatever it is that you feel like justifies their creation of these things and their establishment with each other. But they're also just people who were friends. And that the way that all of this intertwines, friendship with, policy and things, and then removing that and how it can change personal relationships is big, and I think it needs to be stated. Aiden says, "Wish me luck." Good luck, Aiden. Stephen Luke is in the chat. Stephen, the president of Dracul, is in the chat. I want to make sure his comment is read as well. I'll say it so that we can have his point of view in the chat.
Here, I can read it. He said that my office as head of state represents the government, and he said it doesn't matter if it comes from the PM, legislature, or Queen. I would then challenge him at any point to say that statements from the Queen of England represents Parliament. Is what the Queen says representative of Boris Johnson's EU policy? No. I am not the Prime Minister, and I will also assure you, though, that the Prime Minister does not probably like some of your guys' escalation.
I'm jumping over here. Agreed, and it's a hard situation as well because again, it's this thing that's so intermingled between people's like personal lives and their relationships, and also these governmental entities. It's made even more complex by the fact that Christina was a citizen of Dracul. So there are a lot of times that you'll see, especially in what we talked about and discussed, where you have to try and make a decision and an opinion for yourself as to, you know, Christina from her standpoint, speaking as a citizen of Dracul versus at what point she's speaking as a representative of Cycoldia. And the same way with the Dracul situation. Is Dracul speaking to Christina as a citizen of Dracul or as a monarch? And for me, that seems to be a very blurred line. It seems like it almost doesn't matter in certain situations, but it has a very, very big impact on how all of this has fleshed out.
Yes. So, I will also though suggest that Stephen does keep a lot of the statements back somewhat, not because he shouldn't say them, but because he should also watch the video that's planned.
Yes.
About.
100%. And I'm gonna address as well something that Christina and I talked about during our recording, and that I also want to preface to President Luke as well when we do our interview, in case for whatever reason it has to be pre-recorded in the same way that this one was. As well, just live streams, I may edit it down anyway. I'm probably going to edit the stuff that's in this so that I can make future videos and so that we can continue to discuss it and talk about everything that's said and all the evidence. That all being the case, if anything that I edit, I'm going to try and pass through Christina before I post this video that we did, this long. She can see if I've misrepresented anything in my edit, she said, so that way she, has the ability to discuss that. And then the same thing for Stephen as well. So if there's something that's in this live stream that he comments that he feels, I didn't bring up or I don't talk about during our interview, or if there's something that I miss or edit out or whatever from our interview, I would definitely like to make sure that I put something out that accurately reflects both sides and their opinions.
Yeah.
Tough though. I don't know.
Also, there's a full-fledged almost war going on in chat right now.
Ooh, is there? Is chat popping off?
Although I will make a tiny little thing here to clarify for one user that England is not Great Britain and Great Britain is not the United Kingdom. Parliament is the Parliament of the United Kingdom, not of England.
Ooh, there's a lot.
Just to clarify, but yes, there is basically a war going on, and it's the best you can get to a war in a chat section, and I will watch the fireworks.
Agreed. I do want to bring up Stephen's comment next. He says, you can't pick and choose when you want your statements to represent Cycoldia or not. They did, and that is what caused the major issue. But then, I feel like I want to step in and talk about stuff, but I need to wait till the interview. Christina, do you want to respond?
There's already recorded. There's already recorded stuff that's prepared. It's gonna be all good. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful.
Do you have any response, Christina, to that statement?
So I feel like I covered pretty good in the thing. But I'm gonna say though that I'm not exactly picking and choosing in the debate with them. I clarified multiple times that I was talking to them as a Draculian citizen. I even said as a Draculian citizen a couple of times, but you can't find that anymore because the chat was deleted. But on a ton of things, you can also find though that I would like to respond specifically to what Bruce said, because Bruce will never probably get an interview because he's not the head of a government. So I do actually want to respond to that to make sure that I do adequately respond to all the things said. So Bruce said that one issue is that I publicly criticize senior government members as an ally. And I would say, what else is an ally supposed to do whenever they have severe issues than criticize those issues, especially whenever it's severe government members. Members of the government of Dracul have made it blatantly clear they think I didn't care and don't care about Dracul. If I didn't care, I wouldn't have taken the time of my day to debate any of them or to make any public criticism. So I do love the fact that every time this comes to here, Stephen says that he doesn't continue because it's.
Hey, let me see. I'm gonna just keep going through the comments here. Ohio said they got the popcorn and the drink. I appreciate that. Vindar says if the Queen of England says F Germany, the world sees it as England says.
That's when I was talking about. That's when I was clarifying that the Queen of England is not the. That the Queen of England is not a title.
Right.
Queen of the United Kingdom.
Bruce Cooper says yes, exactly to that. Saber Moose says, which is Max, says at Steven, at Bruce, so you guys ended relations because someone criticized you? How childish. Bruce says, haha, no. Steven says, no, there's actually more to it than that. Onyx says a war. Steven says that's besides the point. Onyx says it's heated here. Bruce says because she publicly criticized senior government members as a supposed ally.
Yeah, that's what I responded to. I think that one of the really interesting ones is also more down the thing, where Steven said that the debate had nothing to do with Dracul, and then also said that every time I came to the server, all I did was talk about myself, apparently, with what he had said there. Also, the proposed moderated debate, fun fact, I invited, whenever I was having a cabinet meeting, I invited Dracul to send a person over to participate in the cabinet meeting. I messaged their Secretary of State and sent them an invite, and they sent nobody. So, that would have been cool to have some input during that, but most of you haven't, so. Would have been nice.
So he said, I've made my point pretty clear. At this point, it's not leading anywhere. The debate has nothing to do with Dracul. I feel like, and again, I want to discuss this more. It's not fair for me to do this with Steven specifically, between Steven and I, through comments. It'd be better if I can do a lot of this through the interview. But I do have a question, Steven, if you have time to answer. He said he's made his point pretty clear. The debate isn't leading anywhere, and says it has nothing to do with Dracul. A lot of Christina and my conversation had been around that kind of blurred line between, and you yourself brought it up. You said Christina can't pick and choose when she's representing Cycoldia, but at the same time, she also had at that point this value and this effect as a member of Dracul, as a government member at one point, as a citizen. So I feel like anything that deals with the severing of ties between Christina and Dracul, Cycoldia and Dracul, and Christina and Steven as friends and everything, I feel like it does, right? It tells a nature about Christina and Cycoldia, and it tells a relation about Dracul and Steven. I feel like it's hard to say that one does not affect the other.
Can I also say something else?
Sure to.
I didn't hear you guys' whole interview. But if Steven's gonna say that Dracul isn't a part of the debate thing, or it doesn't involve them, but then at the same time won't take Christina saying I was speaking as a citizen in that moment, and you being well, it doesn't matter because you're a person of Cycoldia?
Cycoldia.
Psycholia.
Psycholia, yeah.
So then that means the same thing for you guys. You can't like pick and choose when you say that you're speaking as Dracul and when you're not. If it's one of your officials talking crap, it's a part of you too.
I get that.
Yes.
Vindar says, but what about droid attacks on the Wookiees? This is the real question, honestly. Vindar is the
That is
only
the
one
real
asking
question.
the right
What about
question.
the droids and Wookiees?
Stefan says, you literally done nothing for Dracul except give us a territory and design ribbons.
That sounds like a lot.
I was gonna say, for micronations, that's not nothing.
Oh,
I've had
I
citizens who
definitely
have
didn't
done
also
less.
serve on the Brand City Council and overview and vote on legislature for like over a month. Oh, I definitely didn't do that, and I definitely didn't run for Brand Mayor. Oh no, I definitely didn't have a mayoral campaign. Oh, what else have I done? I definitely didn't also serve in multiple things, and definitely didn't help with Prazan Academy. Don't.
That is a whole thing that's talked about in the interview as well, was like Prazan and how that affected Cycoldia, and how Cycoldia established a lot of their connection to Dracul through that.
Stephen, I missed 2 meetings in my entire time. I missed 2 meetings, and it was one of the ones that you were at, because I wasn't able to attend on that one. But I literally missed.
Well, and it's hard to say, defining a lack of value for someone when they did receive awards from your nation and high honors in that regard. And I think the same would be fair for Christina to say about Dracul. That through our interview, Christina talked very highly of Dracul and about a lot of the parts of Dracul. It seems like on both sides there is this very specific point of contention, but I don't think either has it fair to say that one never helped the other, or one wasn't, valuable to the other.
Also, I will clarify for anybody thinking that I'm like acting a lot. This interview started around 4 hours ago.
Yes. Again.
I'm so it's been a lot.
Absolutely. And again, I apologize to you, Christina, for all the difficulties and everything that it's taken to get to this point. As well,
it's fine.
If you need to go, let me know whenever you feel like you're good.
I don't, and also though I do want to still talk about the stuff after that.
Oh yes, absolutely. I will make sure to save time for it. Saber Moose says, Stephen, what if a representative from Dracul and Christina have a moderated debate in order to get both sides' point across? I would be happy to do that if both sides were ever down. I can legitimately shut up. It's surprising because I don't shut up, but I can do that for a debate if y'all just wanted to have a platform for that.
It's maybe best at this current time to not do an in-person thing, because both people are heated at each other.
Absolutely.
So let each side get out their own thing without the other person being there and potentially causing an argument and interrupting. So after both sides have been put out, then potentially see how they both feel, and then do an actual one-on-one with them, and then a moderator being you.
Mm-hmm. And that's assuming everybody's comfortable with that. I'm
supposed to see how they...
Yeah. Bruce says, haha. Steven says, every time you've come into our server, all you did was want to talk about yourself. And then Steven said that would be fine. Okay, hopefully we can set that up one day. Kid Republic says, well...
Oh my gosh. Also, I was just going to clarify, because I'm at the very bottom of chat, just reading from it directly. I do enjoy the fact that in the middle of this, Vindar is just I love democracy, I love the Republic.
Absolutely. It's a whole thing. We get to see, that's one of the things that I do appreciate about this situation. It is a tragic situation. I think regardless of your stance or your opinion on the details, it's something that's sad to see two micronations, two groups of friends sever their connection to each other. I hope a benefit that comes out of this for the general community and for myself is to learn about what it means to be a micronationalist, what it means to be a friend, what it means to deal with a scenario that's complex on both sides. It's something that you have to sift through a lot of details on, and it's something that shows how profound an effect this has on people's lives. So I hope when people talk about micronationalism in the future as we move forward, understand this is people's lives. This is real people that are dealing with big things. So um let me see. Caden says, from what I know, it sounds like everyone's acting like 2 years old, and I would also like to see a moderated debate. Caden, what are you talking about? You're like, oh, everybody's childish, but I actually love it, and I want more.
Yeah, people love drama.
Everybody here's so childish. That's why I want to see them again.
Yeah, of course. This is my favorite show.
This is my favorite show. Although I do understand people do watch like reality TV, so that makes sense.
That's true. That's true. What is it? Love Island's been popping off. So,
Also, though, I will say that we are definitely never going to catch up with chat. That it's just going to keep going, probably.
Yeah, this is a problem I have constantly on stream. People mess with me so much. Like you're never on chat, and it's just because I'm bad about it. And then there's a delay, so it's worse. Saber Moose says, but again, I'm not a neutral ground. If there's going to be a moderated debate, it should be on a neutral ground. Agreed.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, we're pretty far back.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
not going to catch up.
That's fair. I will say I am not a neutral ground. I am a biased party. The thing that I would say is that I could shut up. Like right now I've been constantly butting in and putting my opinion in.
Oh, so you need a peacemaker.
I guess so.
You want a peacemaker who doesn't know anything? I just won't watch either ones. And then when they go to debate, I'll just be like, yeah, I know, like, bare minimum.
Tiffany's the mod.
Yeah, if you don't know the facts, you can't kind of be a peacemaker. And somebody who knows the facts is going to be biased towards whichever side they think is more correct.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I just mean,
There's no neutral
I'll
party.
just take what's said and just be like, yeah, just as an outsider, that sounds like you're just being childish at this moment, and you, and then whatever.
Stephen naming Charles as the peacemaker. I
Seems
don't feel like that's going to fully work because I feel like both of us might have issues eventually. Because if it breaks down, Charles also would have to have the strenuous task of trying to also retain both friendships, which I don't think is fair to him to kind of say, yeah, you are both of our friends, so you have to now go between us, like having like the blood sports of diplomacy. Like that doesn't feel fair.
Absolutely, especially having had just direct ties to both nations. I think, again, I'm not the ideal. I may not be the ideal impartial moderator either, but I will say, before this, I have had relatively little interaction with Cycoldia. Christina's joined our Discord server. She's, of course, been a part of our comments from time to time. But I have interacted very little directly with Cycoldia, and the same with Dracul. This is the first thing that I'm really sticking my nose in, which is debatable whether that's appropriate or not. But I'm here. Steven says, I agree, AP, correct. Steven says she was speaking as a citizen, but then when making publications as a monarch, so she blurred the lines. I don't know how the lines aren't always blurred, though.
The lines are about as good as my vision if I do this and I dilate my own eye.
She's an optometrist as well. It's amazing. Multifaceted.
I just have, my eyes are just genetically really fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you look
I can't
closely,
tell
I'm
what's
going to make this become very awkward for a moment.
It's like
If you look at my eye, I can just go.
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
dilate
goodness.
my eyes.
That's impressive.
I can do that. It crosses my left one when I
Ooh.
do it, but I can do it.
That's why I cover one.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise they cross.
Steven says, and you never showed up for meetings except maybe once. Oh yes, I recall when you attended one or two meetings. Steven
And that's
said,
whenever I was saying that I showed up to all but two.
oh, so then he's saying,
Steven's saying be sure to contact him whenever we have thing for an interview. But because we're pretty far back in chat, we can just skip down to also that he also said that he apparently told me multiple times that the door was open if he had anything to discuss, but he said that I can't understand the difference between government and friendship, which I would understand that I would just say quote you, I don't think she ever truly cared about Dracul. To quote you, Stephen, talking to me personally. To quote you, the fact that we're having this argument is honestly pathetic on my part. To quote you, who I think someone needs to remind you that the world does not revolve around you, Christina. To quote you, who the lack of maturity and refusal to understand it and the petty behavior, and so, I mean, throwing insults at me every day for a bit, and including me like 14, like you including me like 2 articles that didn't really have anything to do with me on Dracul 1. So, yeah. Thanks for all the friendly conversation points.
Yeah, as well.
Also, every day I am stating that because there was a Dracul 1 article coming out almost every other day at least.
Yeah. As well, so you were saying this is getting into the nitty. We don't have to deal with this too much, but you were saying, Christina, that you attended all but 2. It seems like Stephen is saying attended 1 or 2.
Yes, he is saying that I didn't attend my meetings properly, and you can call up the chairman of that organization, of the Brand City Council. Oh wait, you can't anymore. That's Mr. Smith, who was removed from Dracul.
I was gonna say, are there just official records, like timekeeping?
There are. He kept them. He can send you them over. Also, Medina, I read your comment. Didn't take too long. I read it about back then.
As well, I just want to address Stephen's other thing. He said, to answer Tiffany's statement, she was speaking as a citizen, but then went to make publications as a monarch, so she blurred the lines. Yeah, okay, sorry, I read that one. Aiden says, I drank a boa, I don't know what that is. Saber Moose said, bro, I so late is 1:33 in the true best time zone. Agreed, I think that's where we are, correct? Nope, earlier. You're in Eastern, I guess. Ohio says, why does it seem like both of you are siblings fighting over some issue? Because they were friends. Like, that's what I'm saying here, is like all of this drama is stuff between micronations. It seems exciting in this moment, but it is most importantly needing to be handled to some degree delicately, because it's people who are close to each other and location wise, and also had built a significant relationship with one another. Popcorn.
Also, could you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Also, could you check PMs?
Yeah, I can.
I sent you a PM on Discord because honestly, I don't think it's going to go anywhere tonight.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, nothing's really happening with it. It's just, and it's not going to end tonight. Obviously, there's not going to be a resolution. It's going to be pretty. It's going to just continue going. There's not really a point to continue to debate it. It's the same points laid out every single time, the same pattern. It's just going in circles. It's not really useful to continue going on this.
No, I agree with that. And again, this is to give everybody context. Let me see if I can read PM. Is it something that I can show to some degree, or should I just not?
On what?
So there's a thing where I was trying to look at the private messages, but at the same time we're like pointing the camera at you so that we can film it. But yeah, it's like a weird.
It's just a fun little.
Oh, no, I was saying I'm probably not going to catch up on chat. There's not going to be a resolution probably, and we should probably end soon.
Oh, agreed. That's fair. I will wrap up. Let me see if I can skip down to any more comments, especially from Steven. I want to make sure they're read. Grant Cycoldia said, moment 35 seconds in.
No, I didn't say that. I said this is a 00:35 moment because that's the time in Central Standard Time. That's what I had said.
Ah.
So that's me. Oh.
Makes sense. Us, Steven, Christina, and I all in the same time zone. Saber Moose says, imagine a lot living in EST shame. Steven says, I told Christina multiple times that my door is always open. Yep, that's what we talked about a second ago. If she has any issues to discuss, but she cannot understand the difference between government and friendship issues.
So one moment, I'm going to grab something really quickly.
Absolutely. Steven said, we have a peacemaker named Charles Ross who's friend to both of us. Yeah. Um, Max says, hey, all I'm saying is once this calms down, we should have a moderated debate on neutral ground. Steven says, he offered himself, not I accepted. Kruslavia says, much drama. Steven says, be sure to contact me so we can set up an interview. I appreciate the reasonable discussion here. Absolutely. Modena says, let's see how long it takes for y'all to read my comment.
That's a Draculian senior military.
Gotcha. Okay. We did see your comment. We got you. It took a minute. Steven said.
I found this comment pretty fast because I was also making sure to watch an Invasion Hotel and then I read it very quickly.
Yes. You did. You did. I remember a second ago.
That's his comment towards what Christina was saying earlier.
He said, correct, it does not revolve around you, and then said, every day we had like one conversation about it. Everybody
This
said
chat is on fire.
This chat is on fire, yep. Steven said the facts were laid out in the article whether you liked them or not. Dionite says, hey, how long have y'all been streaming now? Less than an hour, 45 minutes, but we have been talking for like 4 hours.
You've been making me hold the phone for 46 minutes.
I know. I'm a terrible boyfriend, actually. That's a problem. Y'all should hate me. I don't know why you don't. Steven said, Christina literally walked to Dracul that close. Absolutely. Very, very close. Master D-Knight says, okay, neat. Steven says, look forward to the day there's a resolution. Personally, I don't need this as we all have more important things to focus on.
Which I'm going to just say that I do enjoy the fact that the breakdown of relations with an extremely close ally is not an important thing to focus on.
Right. I also feel like, I don't know,
But leaving it alone isn't gonna do anything either. If you just cover it up, then you're both just gonna stay upset.
Right. I feel like, yeah, I feel like it's a little strange to say, like, I don't need this, because it seems like actions that you personally took, as well as that Christina took, led to this moment. So I don't know how you can say, like, oh, I don't need it. It's a part of your life. It's a part of it, just events, like the cause and effect sort of chain. Steven says, I'm talking about focusing on the drama itself, not the issue at hand. Is that not one and the same? But I get it. I get it. I appreciate you, Steven, joining in the chat and talking to us. Christina as well. You have been great in this. Again, context, Christina and I have been talking for hours and hours and hours at this point. I'm sure she's very tired. I cannot...
I can do something kind of fun with this as well.
Can we aim back at Christina for a second?
I just want to make a comment.
We can end where part of this whole thing started.
Yes.
We can end at where we can end where one of the major issues in this entire thing has started instead, actually. You know why?
Trip. We're going on a trip.
Nepocatania is within a 10-minute walk.
Are you about to walk to a whole nother place?
I can walk over to Nepocatania from where I live.
Oh goodness. Okay.
I can walk there. Let's do this.
This will be an interesting turn of events.
Yeah.
I think what Steven was meaning is more so like it being dragged over the internet instead of it being personally handled between two people. But it seems like neither people want to admit that one was wrong or both were wrong in specific ways.
Right.
About like how they handled the situation.
Agreed. Well, it's also just a thing where it's multiple people. It's not just Christina and Steven, but they are the two kind of figureheads that this is revolving around. And they're both people who have decided independently to create countries, and those countries like connected. So I feel like the fact that so much of this is online is simply just because of the nature of micronationalism and the fact that as a human being, your emotions, your personality, who you are, got connected to your nation and therefore to your allies and your friends. It would be really sad if the opposite were true, where you were like, oh, I actually never had any friends in the micronational. It was all just business, and so there's no drama to be stirred up because I never cared about anyone. That would be a worse situation. So at least
Yeah.
there is something to be said that
Ooh.
there is emotion behind this.
For these chairs are kind of unstable.
Yeah. You okay?
Oh, it's a bit chilly outside.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, why are you walking all the way to the place?
Well, it's because it's within like a 10-minute walk.
Fair enough. So
It's
is that
quite close?
what's
In fact, actually, whenever me and Charles were deciding over the territory being done as it was, we walked there ourselves, both in me in full uniform and him in a suit. We walked all the way to the territory ourselves to survey it and sent a video back to Stephen about it all.
absolutely?
And so now I'm walking right back, which will also be one of the more recent times I've been to Pocatania. Although, I will say, funny thing, even though it was founded for Dracul's military and such to be there, I have been there more than any Dracul military member because they haven't been there.
I was going to bring up, for anybody who doesn't know the sort of the details of some of this, Napocatania, if I understand correctly, was a territory that was created or was ultimately used as a place of mutual benefit and mutual governance between Cycoldia and Dracul, specifically for like military purposes and stuff like that.
Yes,
Is-
it was a piece of Cycoldia within Imperton, which was transferred to joint holdings for the hope of military collaboration within the area.
And is that what Stephen was referring to when he said you were able to walk like 10 minutes to?
No, I can walk. I'm able to walk. It's like an hour-long walk at the very maximum to get directly to Bram City House. To
Okay,
get like to the Draculian capital from Imperton.
interesting.
Like literally, it's like if it's like if Maine had a debate with Massachusetts.
Just, oh well, I'll drive across the border and we'll settle it.
Like
Goodness.
I'll drive there, dude.
Goodness.
But
Medina.
here I'm actually coming across the kind of sister park, which is the place right across from the DECZ. I'm coming upon that area, which this is the Imperton Public Park. It is the main park for Imperton, and it has a lot of historical significance. In sections of it, in one part of it, the head of CSDF was granted the Order of Christina I in one of the little areas at it. As well, Beersland existed just to our right here. If I turn the camera on, Beersland existed just over there.
Ooh.
Which Beersland was what is sometimes considered to either be the sixth unnamed Cyclodian Civil War or the first popular uprising.
Very cool.
Right there. If we jog across the street, you're now within Imperton Public Park. Where, just over there, is where I awarded the first to head of the CSDF, Thaddeus Miller, who was given the physical copy of it, and we did an entire award ceremony just over there. That hill, that's the Fifth Cyclodian Civil War. If we just jog over to this hill, this one is sometimes called my Palatine Hill, as a reference to the Roman Palatine. Oh, because this one was the most
You
used by
better
any of my
hurry.
campaigns regarding any Cycolian issues, was this exact one here, which is very small, but still there. If we keep running, we get to
You
a
when you
little
pulled it, you turned off the
section
camera.
of which there is a path. And we get to that bridge. Right? You see that bridge?
Mm-hmm.
It's very dim. I don't know how well the phone's picking it up, but we can see it.
Yeah.
You see the bridge right there?
Um.
Right there, AP?
It's a little bit, but it is very dark.
Okay. But do you see the bridge that's right
Yes. Yes. Okay. That's better. I think the camera can pick that up.
there? This bridge, the second that we cross the halfway point, at the entry point to the Napocatania.
Mm-hmm.
Because it divides along Nowell Creek.
Mm-hmm.
We're now in Napocatania.
And this
Where?
is.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, and this is something that's like a very important historical site for both Cycoldia and Dracul relations.
Yeah, this was the joint concession zone.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're now walking along the path in it. If we get up to right, see that little pavilion within there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
That is Assembly Hall. That is where the General Assembly currently meets.
Oh wow, is that the same area that Dracul uses as well?
That's where they used to use. Assembly Hall was planned to get carved out whenever Napocatania would get more fully officialized, and it was used as the administrative capital. After Dracul pulled out, the General Assembly became the new meeting place for there. So this is the official meeting place for the General Assembly of Cycoldia now. Although we don't meet here. We meet mainly digitally, but this is the official meeting place.
Absolutely. I was gonna say I remember seeing, I think maybe pictures of that building in some of Dracul's posts.
Yeah. Because this was the administrative center.
Mm-hmm.
There's a full pool right there, which is a public one as well, so it can be used for any access. And there are multiple hills, which is why this area was chosen, because it is very a mess to get through, which would make it hard to get anybody in who wasn't supposed to be there, and there's a ton of things to use here.
Absolutely.
That's why this was
And to have fun.
made DECV. And not a single Dracolian military member ever stepped foot in it after the treaty was signed.
That's a shame. As well, Medina commented, I'm not sure if you saw it, Christina, let me debate your prime minister.
Oh, you can debate her in text. She doesn't fucking put her voice out. Because she is more private by her personal privacy.
Fair
Which-
enough.
Which also, considering she's also trans, that's another reason why she doesn't want to put her voice out there. If you want to critique that, be my guest. Join the rest of your government members.
Absolutely.
Join the government members.
Well, I will say, I think you're right, Christina. Obviously, this isn't going to be settled tonight. It seems like Stephen may have left the chat, or at very least has stopped commenting. It seems like Medina as well has stopped. So I think we will wind down the stream for tonight. Medina said it's a joke. Weird. I don't get the joke, but okay.
Wonderful joke. Challenging to debate. Great joke.
I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up the stream so that I can properly finish talking to Christina and say goodbye to her. Again, I hope you all continue to kind of follow this to hear the full story, the full side of Christina's when we do the edited video. And again, I will have Steve and Luke on at some point for Dracul's side.
And then there is a potential of a personal debate between the two with a moderator who has not yet been. Yeah, the possibility.
Yes.
Also, I will say that I think it's quite fitting that the ending of where I've ended is the exact spot that the border was.
Very well fitting. Absolutely.
I feel like if they had a debate, right, with a moderator, it'll be just like the debate between like Trump and Biden when they were like, you had to keep like trying to get them to quit talking over each other.
I get
I feel like it's just that.
It'll be like Kent Hovind versus Dave Farina,
going at it.
where they both just kept talking over each other and had great justifications of why they wanted to talk over each other.
So if there was a debate, there would need to be some ground rules set prior.
There'd
like
have to be a
you
great
could.
moderator as well.
Absolutely. But yeah, a fitting end to tonight as the continuation of this. Sebastiano Di Ravello says, Christina, you tried to attack my micronation. You attacked Ella Roach, Riken's land, and my nation.
Wait, is that Anik Sufyan? Is that Anik Sufyan?
It says Sebastiano de Ravello.
Is that Sebastian? Oh, I'm having a hard time.
Could
Is that Ethiopian News, or is that Anik Sufyan, or who is that? Because if it's Anik Sufyan, then congratulations on continuing to be homophobic and transphobic. And if it's not Anik Sufyan, then I don't know who you are.
You'll have to let us know at some point, Sebastiano. Also, Vindar95 says, easy to do on Discord. You can server mute each till their time to speak. That's fair. That's a good idea, Vindar. Thank you.
yeah, like if do you have control in Discord as the host,
Yeah,
like other
you
people
can.
do?
Yeah.
You just mute people.
Yep.
Just be like, you won't quit interrupting you. I'm gonna just mute you. Let them finish their side, and then I'll let you like come back in.
I think that's
Yeah,
what
and in fact, if somebody's being too vitriolic and stuff, you can give them a timeout, which forces them to be out of the voice call for a bit.
Well, but see, my only issue with that is if you want to like actual full-on debate, both
yeah, like,
sides should be completely
If
heard.
they, like, yeah, but it's like if they aren't, like if they keep interrupting like an opening statement.
Well, that's why I say, and just like mute them. Like if you kick them out of the chat, then they miss what you're like saying, unless they're also having like the stream or the recording somehow also like available to them to be listening. So I don't think you should kick them out of the area in a timeout like that and not allow them to hear what's being said.
Yeah, that's like that would be the nuclear option.
Agree. And yeah, again, appreciative, Vindar. A fitting end to tonight, I suppose. I hope you all have a good night. I hope you all are able to continue to keep up with this and let us know your thoughts as more information comes out, as things evolve. Just keep in mind that this is people, and we're all, at the end of the day, we're all just trying to do what's best for us. But that being said, I hope everybody has a good night. Christina, is there anything else you would like to say before we end the stream?
Not really.
Okay, fantastic. In that case, thank you again to our lovely camera woman, Tiffany. We
And
appreciate
the
you.
viewers who have come.
That's true. And all the viewers like you at home. Kruslavia says thank you, AP. Of course, thank you, Kruslavia. I appreciate you saying that. I'm going to plug myself. Please like and subscribe and all that. A micronation called Riken's Land said LOL. Please like and subscribe, all that.
It's Anik! I know it!
Oh, it is? Oh, it's the person that you thought. Hey, very nice. Got him.
The guy you called my slur!
Oh, goodness.
I
Goodness.
knew it was him!
You found him. You could tell by the comment. Utrain Empire says thanks for the stream. Absolutely. Thank you, Utreya. Again, we're going to be keeping up with this, so if you missed any of the stream, go back and watch it. We're going to be putting out the edited video. And go support Christina's stuff. Go learn about Dracul. All this stuff is the only way to understand everything is to know the people involved.
And just secondly, like keep an open mind about like all this stuff. Like if you're coming in already like biased to one or the other before you even see the side of the story, then you can't make like an honest opinion of how you should like feel if you're just instantly already is gonna be on one side or the other. Whether you're cold, what was it?
Cycoldia.
Cycoldian or is it Draculian or like what do they call it?
Draculian? Yeah, Draculian.
Okay, yeah. Like if you're coming from the other side's like party or micronation, then I would suggest leaving your opinions to yourself just because you're already gonna be biased.
Agreed. Wise words from Tiffany.
Well, it's gonna make it like a lot harder for them to hash out their own thing if everyone else is like commenting in already. Like, it's just not good to have the crowd
Agreed.
going like,
Cheers
yeah. So
Cheers to that.
comments probably won't be like super added in or taken too personally during a debate if that is an actual possibility of happening.
If that happens, then yeah, it's great.
Agreed. Sounds good. Again, appreciate you, everybody. See you guys.
Yeah.